Welcome to another mini episode of the Don't Follow Me Home podcast. Um, Good news, we did record finally another full episode, so that should be getting edited as we speak and working on being uploaded very, very shortly for you all. So another full episode coming very soon, but in the meantime, to help you all out for patiently or impatiently waiting or not really waiting or somewhere in between in general, I have another mini episode here, another urban legend. This one takes us to the state of Colorado, which I was super excited to do this one because I love Colorado. It's one of my favorite states. So like I said, I was excited to look into this. So hopefully you guys enjoy this urban legend and spooky tale as much as I did looking into it. Please enjoy the ambiance of my black cat, if you can see him at all, and my element candles that are lit on my Wiccan altar with my crystals and my little cauldron. So without further ado, let's get into it. The urban legend of Riverdale Road in Thornton, Colorado. Riverdale Road's reputation as the most haunted road in the country comes from a handful of stories passed down over the years. There's the ghost jogger, who taps on the sides of passing cars, the phantom Camaro with one headlight, the hitchhiker in white who disappears into the night. Perhaps the story that yields the most intrigue involves a mansion owner who went insane and set his home aflame with his family inside. The family perished in the fire, and the man was never seen again. There are some spots around the world that have unexplainable events happen, and these often go down in local lore, and if they're creepy enough, they become widely known. Thrill seekers are always looking for their next scare or to disprove lore, which is why many come to visit Riverdale Road in Thornton, Colorado. The 11-mile stretch of Riverdale Road in Thornton has countless stories revolving around the supernatural and paranormal, like demons, a ghost lady, the Jogger of Joggers Hill, Native American burial ground curses, witch hangings, a phantom Camaro, and, more notably, it's said to be the site of the gates of hell. So definitely not a place for the faint of heart or easily scared, like me. But if you're among the very slim few who are brave enough to journey along the stretch of road, up to the crumbling ruins of a great mansion and into the gates of hell, more power to you. The street has endless ghost stories to tell, which is why these upcoming facts make it such a terrifying place to visit. It literally has the gates to hell. Okay, so these gates are actually just made of rusty iron, but it's the story behind them that adds them to almost every page on the internet about Colorado lore. It is a place where legend speaks of satanic worship, murders, sacrifice, and a lady in white who roams the nearby road, forever searching for her way home. They come to see the burned ruins of a great mansion, the haunted trunk of a tree scarred from the fire, and the terrifying dark, musty room hidden underground. People visit these gates when they're seeking a thrill because of what or who they might see. These gates blocked the entrance to an abandoned mansion where a man once burned his wife and children alive. The man who built them lost his mind when the gates were finished and burned his entire mansion with his family asleep inside. Screams can still be heard among the ruins. This man was never caught or put on trial, and some believe this spot is still the portal to hell. Now, witnesses report that a lady in white walks the road by the gates. Assumed to be his wife, she searches the street for her murdered children, or even her husband. A single glance in the rear view mirror tells these folks that she's disappeared completely from sight. Now, the question is, where'd she go? This ghost lady isn't entirely innocent, though. Some legends say that she will try to lure unsuspecting individuals into the gates of hell. I'll pass, thanks. Many people who have come in contact with this woman in white have tried to help her, but she merely continued on her path in silence. Fact 2. A jogger might chase you. Sadly, there are accidents that happen to joggers all the time, especially if their run takes them along busy roads. One jogger decided to take a jog along Riverdale Road one night and got hit. They didn't make it. So now the jogger haunts the road. People passing through on foot have heard a loud heartbeat and even footsteps. If you drive by, you might feel something hitting your car when there's really nothing there, except perhaps the angry ghost of a dead jogger. If you're interested in seeing this jogger for yourself, here's what you've got to do. Park your car at the top of the hill, turn off the engine, and wait. You should hear the sounds of footsteps behind you, slowly getting closer and closer with each breath. Many people have claimed that this jogger has kicked and pushed on their cars, while others say there have been handprints left on the outside of their window. But whatever you do, don't let the jogger reach the driver's side of the car. Otherwise, it could be the very last thing you do. Fact 3. Demonic activity still happens. If there are rumors that an area had a large amount of satanic activity, that's one thing. But evidence means something entirely different. Because people used to live along Riverdale Road. There are structures left behind like old chicken coops and empty buildings. On these structures is always fresh graffiti and even headless animals. That and the occasional sound of footsteps growing closer and closer. Fact 4. Ghosts swing from the trees. America has a long and dark history of abusing slaves while it was legal to own them. And there's plenty of creepy locations to go check out if you're touring southern locations. Colorado, though, has its own history that isn't typically talked about when discussing American history. Slaves lived there too, especially along Riverdale Road. It's said that on some nights, you can see their bodies hanging from the cottonwood trees if there's a full moon out. Fact 5. Bloody handprints appear on signs. Painting is a common activity enjoyed by children of all ages, but it stops being fun when that red paint isn't actually paint at all. There's a spirit that dwells along Riverdale Road that used to be a young boy. While on his way to school, he got hit by a car. Now, he paces the street restlessly at night, smearing his bloody handprints on every street sign as he walks by them. By morning, the prints are always gone. Fact 6. A phantom Camaro patrols the road. The issue with Riverdale Road that led to its haunted history is that it has seemingly endless blind corners. If a driver is in a rush, those blind corners can result in death. Back in the 1970s, a black Camaro was cruising along the road and ended up crashing, ultimately killing the driver. Nowadays, if you come across a black Camaro while driving down Riverdale Road, I highly suggest you turn back, especially if said Camaro has a busted headlight. That's when you hightail it out of there, and whatever you do, don't try to race it, because, as the myths claim, if you race the phantom Camaro, you'll only be racing towards your death. A race you definitely don't want to win. Fact 7. There's always a hitchhiker needing a ride. Almost everyone grows up being told that if you ever see someone on the side of the road with their thumb out, they're asking for a ride and that you probably shouldn't give them one. You never know who or what could be jumping into your car. For those who felt compassion for the young woman in white who walks Riverdale Road at night, they've pulled over and had quite the experience. As soon as they open the passenger door, she disappears, leading you to ask what she really wanted. Fact 8. Native American shapeshifters roam. The thing about Riverdale Road is that it isn't just the road itself that's haunted. It's the area of land that it cuts through. For hundreds of years, there have been stories about Native American shapeshifters roaming the land. So now they appear on the road. They can take different shapes to communicate with people in their own ways. So if you plan to visit, be on the lookout for any unusual activity. It could be shapeshifters playing tricks on you. Some people get a kick out of being scared, which is why things like haunted houses exist. There's a thrill that comes from being surprised and scared all at the same time, but only to a certain degree. Take the scariness up a notch, and things go from fun to downright terrifying. Places like Riverdale Road have a history of scaring people beyond what they came there for. There's so much living lore clawing its way towards the people who drive through that you might want to watch your back if you plan to visit. All right. And that is the urban legend of Riverdale Road from Thornton, California. So I don't know about you guys, but there is a part of me that next time I'm in Colorado wants to go find this road and just walk around it and sit in my car and see what I find. But then also a part of me that says I don't really want to even risk racing that Camaro or having that lady in white jump in my car or see the bloody handprints on the signs. So we'll see what happens. Maybe it can be a place that we put on our Don't Follow Me Home bucket list to go in and search out and look into. So again, thank you for listening to these mini episodes. Thank you for any and all feedback that you give. As always, please write in to us. Any stories, any experiences, any thoughts or comments are always appreciated. So also be on the lookout for our upcoming full episode very soon in the next few days here. Should be up and running. So have a wonderful Sunday night, and as always, stay spooky.